Do we have a lot to talk about? I'm trying to think if I've got anything grand. Just planning picnics.
Planning picnics. I don't know what we're going to talk about.
Whatever pops up.
Ooh, all right.
You're listening to the podcast where we talk about life, sports, family, and everything in between. Welcome to Just Talking Out Loud with your hosts, Ron and Terry.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Just Talking Out Loud. I'm Ron.
And I'm Terry.
And it's great to be with you. I feel like I'm really loud today. Really,
Whoa.
Yeah, a lot of wowing going on. I don't know, just something seems a little weird.
We're just going to talk about whatever pops up.
Yes, we're just going to talk about what pops up.
Ooh.
Anything popping up?
Lots popped up today, but just chores.
I should try and find that story. There was a guy that was caught in the airport with a python in his pants.
With a python in his pants.
Yeah.
A snake.
I've never been accused of having a python in my pants. That I can really assure you. Here it is.
But
yeah, he had.
Why he needed to travel home with him?
It's more like a guppy, huh?
What did he need? Was it going to be his pet or what?
I don't know. I'll read it here in a minute, but something really seems really loud. Okay, so this New York City man.
New York City, lives in the city. He has no business having a snake there.
He admitted that he smuggled 3 Burmese pythons in his pants. Oh, he had not one, not 2, but he had 3. And he smuggled them through the U.S.-Canadian border, and that's a $5,000 fine.
So he was in Canada and brought them to America? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
And apparently, it doesn't say like what his, I don't know if he was going to bring them here. The snakes are worth about $2,500 at a reptile store in Canada. And I'm not sure exactly.
So he bought them.
He said it was in his inner thigh of his pants in snake bags tied to the pants drawstring. I'm sure they weren't happy. I don't know how many snakes.
Well, if you patted him down and it went, that would really be.
Yeah, that's... So there you go. This guy had a
Wouldn't that
python.
show when you go through how you have to go through the X-ray machine?
Well, that's just like metal. The one that he went through wasn't. It's not like
it's a metal detector. Yeah,
it's just metal detector. It wouldn't unless the pythons had eaten something that was metal. That's the only way it would go off, right? I
guess. Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, that's kind of weird. But yeah, he had a python in his pants.
So he paid $2,500 and then he got a $5,000 fine.
Yeah, it was $5,000.
Expensive snakes, then, yeah.
A year of probation and $5,000 fine for smuggling in some
snakes.
Some snakes.
And it doesn't say whether they were for pets or whatever.
It doesn't say. I think he was probably going to bring them in and try and resell them.
Probably,
is what I'm thinking.
or make more.
So, yeah, it's
yeah, some people want them as pets and stuff. I don't know why.
I guess so. Yeah, you were talking about whatever pops up.
Yeah, well,
a python.
Did you hear about the lady snake owner who took her snake to the vet because it wasn't eating very much? And she asked her, and she said, where does it sleep? And it sleeps with her in the bed. And he said, well, it was stretching out along.
Yes,
it was measuring her to see if it could fit.
Yes.
She could fit in it.
He was going to eat her.
Yeah.
Right. That's why it wasn't eating.
Yeah.
He was preparing for a very big meal. I don't know
it's measuring you to see if you fit.
That's what they measure out.
She was like, what? I mean, would that freak you out or what?
Well, the snake in my bed would freak me out anyway, so it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
But I mean, to have him, you wake up and he's all stretched out.
And then what he's going to do? He's going to wrap around your neck, squeeze, and then gobble you.
Swallow you whole.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing better than, well, never mind.
You're so bad.
Whole.
You're so gross.
Come on.
I don't know why they'd want them as a pet if they're going to eat you,
Well,
a nice pet. You know, you love your pets, but I don't know if it's it's able to eat you, then is it a pet?
Are you playing catch with a snake?
No,
No, you're not playing catch with a snake.
Are you playing kissy kissy?
Yeah,
You know,
well, maybe they are, but I mean, I
rubbing
wouldn't.
its belly and
Yeah, roll over.
Yeah,
And the snake's going
yeah,
or whatever they do. No, it's not a pet. You can't even say it's a what do they call them? What do they call
service
it? I think a service animal or a emotional support. It's not that. It's a snake's. It's eyeing you up to eat you. You're his next victim, the next meal. So
or you're feeding it, and that's why it sticks around.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, if you're raising mice for it, it's going to stick around.
I don't know. It's it takes all kinds of people. So yeah, there's a. I don't know if that was the story I was. There's another story about they were asking people to not when you're at the zoo to not throw coins in the water. Apparently, one of the alligators had to have 70 coins
taken out
removed from its stomach because people were throwing coins in and it was eating it up. But all the coins were removed, so good for the
alligator.
I don't know why people were throwing
coins
money in.
I wouldn't, not in the zoo.
It's not a wishing well. It's an alligator.
I could see if they had a wishing, like a fountain in the middle of the zoo where no animals were around. If you threw, people think they throw coins in for good luck or whatever. But
yeah, I mean,
but not where the animals are eating and drinking.
Yeah, it's not a wishing well. It doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
The other thing that I really feel bad about is that we didn't talk about Mother's Day because this is going to be after Mother's Day. So we hope all you mothers out there had a great day. And we thank you for all the work that you do. We appreciate you. We love you. We've got some great moms that well, my mom won't come on. I tried to get her on.
Yeah.
Your mom's been on a couple times.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Because we talk about something that, has been that
was part of the
mission
family.
kind of for her, her AA. And Al-Anon. She's been a part of that for a long time. She's also done Celebrate Recovery, and she's a lot of things like that. And that, my dad didn't always go to church and do things that she thought were important, to her, because he had that, and that was kind of his ministry,
Right. But yeah, that's so we really want to thank. Hopefully, I don't know what you got your mom. Is it tough to get your mom something for Mother's Day? We bought some flowers, and you got some books, and
we took your mom flowers. But I wanted to get her something more. But I don't know. It's not like your mom doesn't go out to eat. She doesn't have a favorite place to shop. Well, she does, a dollar store, but you know what I mean. She doesn't have like there's not a favorite clothing store that I could get her a gift card to.
You don't buy clothes.
And you can't. And I've tried to buy her clothes before. Used to buy her T-shirts when we go on vacation and stuff. 3 years later, she'd pull them out, never worn, and give them to me, and I'd end up wearing them. So
yeah,
quit doing that.
Well, unless you buy something that you really like, give it to her, and she doesn't wear it, and gives it back to you.
Yeah.
And you end up liking it anyway.
Yeah.
So it all works out.
There's been a few things that we've found, like that frog fountain, the one time she had on her back porch, and I've been looking for something similar to that since it broke. But we can't find anything like it,
Yeah,
and there's been a few things that I found for her. Like I can tell, like outside decorations and Christmas decorations, I can kind of tell, oh, that's your mom's taste. That will go with her color scheme or whatever. And she does put those things out, but yeah.
Yeah, we had bought this frog thing. It had some frogs.
It was like a lily pad with the fountain and frogs.
Right, the water and Jeff, my brother, loved it.
Oh, they both loved it, and they set it out on their back porch,
and would listen to it.
They said it was very calming, and and they had it out there for like 3 years in the summer,
and then it quit.
They put it away, and then it broke, and probably, wear and tear because they did use it.
Yeah. Yeah, it should last a little bit longer.
Well, it was like 3 or 4 years they had it before and then we haven't seen anything similar or anything we like it since then.
No, exactly. But
We bought that on vacation too one year for her, didn't
Yeah.
we? Because her birthday is in August and we're usually in vacation the end of July. So that's always a good time to shop for her, but
I think we found it at Ben Franklin.
or something, yeah.
So if
Down in
my
Ag
voice
Side.
is a little off, I
Been
lost
sick
my voice on Saturday. Excuse me, I
from
wasn't
all
sure
the kids.
that I
It's
would.
gone through us all now. The kids, Ben started and he had the trip to the hospital when he was here.
That was the
The
ear,
beginning of it.
or,
That was,
wheezing.
the wheezing. And then later in that week, he had to go back to Children's
Double
Express.
ear
A double
infection.
ear infection. Then they went away for the weekend, and Beckett ended up at the doctor's for an ear infection.
And he was wheezing too. a little
And
bit.
yeah, he was wheezing one day and then he ended up crying and fussy. So she took him, and here he had an ear infection. Then Lauren got a cough. Then I got a cough. And then you got laryngitis completely.
Yeah, I had I have the eye stuff.
Yeah, they had really bad, like colds in their eyes
And I
because their
had it.
eyes were all boogered up. Yeah.
Cough, and then I lost my voice Saturday. I couldn't talk at all.
Yeah.
Terry was loving every minute of it.
Yeah. It was quiet around here.
It was really,
When you did talk, you were whispering.
it's all whispers. What if you could go all day just whisper? Is that a better way to
You
talk?
did that day.
Oh, I was whispering, but I was trying to talk at a full,
Talk.
but it was coming out. It was not good. So that was happy Mother's Day. I know we missed it. We usually try to do it the week before, and Ron's been off. I've been off a little bit. I'm off kilter a little bit.
Yeah, we're playing in a lot of picnics.
Oh my gosh, this is just we've got. If we don't do Memorial Day, which we don't have to because we're going to have a couple anyway, but we're going to do Fenn's birthday on June 2nd. Then we have a graduation on the 15th that's going to be here.
And when's
And then
Martinez?
Martinez the 22nd of June. So we go.
That's the 22nd that week.
That's right after that week. So 3 weekends in a row. It's the 2nd, the 15th, and the 22nd. We've got something going on.
Okay, but the week of the 22nd, I wonder if it's the week before of the 22nd Saturday or that next weekend. I have to change my schedule.
What schedule?
I'm going to go and watch kids Wednesday.
I thought that was
and,
May.
And bring,
22nd.
oh, okay, that is, yeah.
So we're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are all June.
It's all,
okay.
These are all June.
Okay.
You're talking about May, which you might be bringing him here and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So, but anyway, so lots going on, and I don't know. I haven't really been. I don't know. I find a lot of stuff that I want to talk about, and then I just kind of. I used to have a list of things I want to talk about.
You didn't make a list this time?
I didn't make a list. I didn't have a chance to really do it, so I feel guilty. So, we'll talk about germaphobes.
Oh.
There are 7 things that are dirtier than your toilet seat. Although I just read a story today that said they were doing a study in hospitals saying that if you have men in one room, okay, with his own bathroom, then you have a woman in another room in her own bathroom, the men's toilet is 10 times dirtier than the woman's toilet.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
In fact, they're thinking there's going to be another super bug coming just from the toilet seats of the hospital. You got to. I mean, that's what they got to
They
scare
clean them
you.
every day, though. I would think they have a cleaning staff that
Supposed
comes in.
to. What are these men
I mean,
doing?
when I've been there, like when I was there, they came in and emptied the trash. I went in there and scrubbed the bathroom and everything the day I was,
I will say this. I don't want to say all men because it's not all men. Most men probably don't clean the bathroom like most women would. Women do care about the cleanliness of the bathroom, although it doesn't work. It works that way too.
If you go into a woman's restroom, like public,
I've
they're
heard
always
that.
10 times worse. That's
I've heard
because
that.
they have feminine issues and stuff, and some of them don't wrap that crap up and don't dispose of it properly. and so that's lots of germs.
Well, thanks for bringing that up.
But you know what I
guess
mean?
I
It
brought
is.
it
Some
up.
people are not. Some people are not
I've
as
heard
particular about their hygiene
that women's
practices.
bathrooms in a public place are really bad.
Oh, some of them are just like because I guess because they're not at home, they think they don't have. I mean,
Just
I don't,
not worry about it.
I don't know, but I always
Somebody else will clean it up.
I always took care of my own. I didn't expect someone to clean up after me. That's
Yeah.
gross. But
So they were talking about these 7
things that one
Things
of
that
them's
are
your cell
dirtier
phone, isn't it?
than your toilet. Yes,
One of
definitely.
them's your cell phone.
Do you know where it falls in the top 7?
Oh, probably in the top 3.
Yeah, it's in the top 3. It's number 1.
Oh, wow.
It's number 1 as far as dirtier than a toilet is your smartphone. I just wonder how many times I've actually cleaned. I try and clean my smartphone with those little wipes or whatever.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
but I do. You're sitting on the throne playing a game on your phone.
Yeah, you're not the only one. We're all do it, and everybody out there. Oh, you know what? I have a surprise.
What?
I have a surprise. I wonder
I
if I
thought
can find it.
let's go through this out.
I will, but
okay.
but you were talking about. So you can now, if I can find this real quick, I'll look for it real quick. You can now text us. This is brand new. This is brand new from Buzzsprout. That's who hosts our. And I got to tell you, every time they always come up with something new, something exciting, and they said, "How would you like to get mail?" Well, it says mail, and to kind of talk about back in the day when you got mail, when Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan in that movie. Well, now there is a link that is here. It is right here. There is a link that is right if you listen to us on your phone, okay, which a lot of people listen to podcasts
on their phone.
On their phone. This has just been added. It says our listeners will be able to text your podcast, and then the messages appear inside my account. So I'll be able to see whatever it is that you text. And you'll be able to hit the button. There's a little link. You hit it, and you just start typing.
Oh, neat.
And so you can text us while you're listening to the show, even though we're not technically live, but then we'll read it off the next week. Because obviously they don't want to do the speak pipe. Obviously.
You haven't gotten it.
No one wants to do that. So maybe they'd rather
They
text.
don't want us to hear their voice.
So now you can text us, and it's real simple because if you're listening on your phone, you'll see in the show notes, it comes right up. It's right before the synopsis of what we talk about. You click on it and you text us, and we'll be able to see what you have to say about maybe something that we mentioned, or ask you a question like, what do you think is dirtier than these 7 things? Well, Terry already figured out number 1, and that's smartphones. Anything
we
else?
have them in our hands all the time. You're cooking, you lay it there. You go to the bathroom, you're playing a game. I just.
Can you think of anything else that might be dirtier than your toilet?
I'm trying to think. Your toothbrush.
Well, I hope not.
It is in the same room.
Well, yeah, that's why you're supposed to put that little
Thing on it,
little
guard
cover
on it.
on it, I think. Or close the toilet seat.
Yeah, when you flush.
That'd be a good idea too.
What's dirtier than our toilet? Some people's bathtubs are probably
You said
toilet.
kitchen. So if you think kitchen.
Oh, our sponge in our
Yes.
kitchen. Sponge
Kitchen
or
sponges?
kitchen rag.
Number 2.
Okay.
Number 3, which makes sense because I don't think we clean them enough. If you're one of those ones that like to walk around with a water bottle, that's number 3. Fountain soda water. I don't know if anybody even drinks out of a fountain anymore. Since COVID. Yeah. Jinx, Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
This might be interesting. Number 5, handbags. Your purse might be littered with, fecal matter. If you're in the bathroom. Well, if you're in the bathroom and you're in there a lot.
You take it in there. Well, you have to.
You go to every
public
public restroom there is.
I
And
try to hang it on a hook if they have it, though.
but there's no lid on those toilet seats.
I know.
And if
that's
you don't have
gross.
one of those towel to dry your hands and you use the blower,
And then you're blowing all
then
the
you're
germs
blowing
into
on your purse.
Mm-hmm.
You take your purse and you wrap it around your shoulder and up underneath your arm. Your armpit might be sweaty. I don't know. You have sweaty armpits?
So where's purse fall?
Number 5. Number 6 is something that you and I, when we go to the store, we use this all the time. We don't go to a checkout person. The self-checkout screens are very dirty. And, of course they are, because people just got out of the bathroom, wipe their butt, and then they come and use the screen, didn't wash their hands. A lot of people do not wash their hands in the bathroom.
Gross.
So think about that next time you use the screen.
No, I've been working on Fen. Fen's got the washing hands down, even if he doesn't have the potty down.
And number 7 has to do with your pet. Can you think what might be dirtier than a toilet that has to do with your pet?
His leash, his bed,
Nope.
his...
Think about it. What does he like to do sometimes when you bring it home? You're always buying him something.
Oh, his toys.
His toys.
Because he's chewing on them.
Yep, his toys. Number 7.
Throwing them around.
So I see all these people now just cleaning their phone real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Getting out the
Bacterial.
disinfectant
Yeah.
and just rubbing it over their phone. So those are the 7 things that are dirtier than your toilet. Kind of gross when you think about it.
Especially the phone, because you got it up by your face all the time.
It's all the time. So just think you're in the toilet, you're playing your favorite game
And it rings.
while you're, doing your deuce or whatever you're doing. And you got the toilet paper in one hand and your phone in the other
You have
hand.
to set it down.
And you're doing that. Oh, can you set it down? If you're at your
The
home,
way ours
our
is,
bathroom,
we
you can
put
set
it
around
on the sink.
everything's so freaking close.
You could, do your and then finish and then,
Finish. Do your duty, if you will.
Yeah.
So it's just gross. And the kitchen sponge, sometimes we don't throw them out as often as we probably should, because we have one of those where you fill it up with soap.
Yeah.
Those little, what do you call those things? Soap thingies, scrunchies.
Yeah.
We probably don't clean that I try to change it as often as I can.
Yeah, because I ruin it quite often. Tear the ends
Oh,
off
it's just
of it and
easy.
stuff,
Yeah, it's easy to do. A woman was walking her dogs in British Columbia, and she made a discovery that some trash had washed up on the tide, and she found her own long-lost wallet. How odd is that? She's
In
walking
the
her
trash.
dogs. Yeah, she'd lost her
And
wallet.
they had
somewhere
her
in-
like ID in
and
it.
everything. Yeah, everything was still intact. It was a remote island where her and her husband lived.
Husband.
Her husband. Well, it could be husband.
Okay.
know.
Whatever.
Husband. Sorry, her husband.
It's a new one.
And that's when it's something new I've come up with. Her husband. Well,
Yeah.
I might have just started something.
Oh, you might have.
You know what I mean? Because if you are,
Yeah.
I better
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it could be
Meet
used.
my husband.
I could be used. It could be
Right?
used.
It could be
yeah.
used.
It could be
I mean,
used.
I should put a patent on that.
Yeah, you should.
This is Sheila and my husband,
Sherry.
Sherry or whoever. Husband. I mean, that could be it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't work for the men. You can't say husband.
I gotta get a
I'll have to think
wife
about that
in
one.
there. Okay.
Anyway,
So anyhow, she found
so
her
she
wallet.
found her long lost wallet that's been missing for years. And how about that? Just being in that place at that time, you're talking about an ocean, right? And, trillions of gallons of water, or whatever it is, and all that stuff washing up, and there's her wallet. Talk about timing,
You wonder if someone took it and then threw it away, and that's how.
Well, yeah,
it
but
got there.
but she had lost it. It wasn't like,
Did she lose it, or did someone swipe it?
it just said she lost it.
Oh, well.
She said she lost it. I don't know if it was at the beach, maybe she got washed up, and sometimes you think you're not too close and boom, here comes a big old wave and takes your top off. Remember that one?
Oh, yeah. That was me.
No one in particular.
And I wasn't even trying to cover myself up. I wanted my top.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, that's just, I just think that was pretty neat to find something you'd lost years and years ago.
That one, I think that Ange's dad can still remember that day too.
You lost your top
right in front of him. Yep. He got a show. He got dinner and a show.
Dinner and a show. Nothing wrong with that. Every once in a while, that's a good.
I'm sure he was rolling on the beach. I'm sure he was just looking. Hey, your friend's out there without her top. That wave hit her and knocked her top right off of her.
Let's finish up with this one. We were just talking about self-checkouts, and we like self-checkouts. I do.
Well, it's
just
a
quicker.
little quicker.
A lot of places say they're going to get rid of it. There was Walmart. One Walmart was actually getting rid of the self-checkouts because they said of theft. But don't they have the camera?
I know, and I thought they had those checkers at the door, so they're supposed to be checking
well,
their
not
door.
at Walmart though.
There's usually one there.
Yeah, but only if they're not in a bag. If your items are in a bag,
they don't
ask. But if you can't, like say if you carry something that's too big, then they'll ask to see your receipt.
I guess, if you really wanted to be real sneaky, especially small things, you could probably slide through and not. How would they know? But there is a girl right in the front of those self-checkouts in case you have something that won't ring up right or you have a coupon or something. She should be paying attention to whether everyone's putting everything through, too.
Yeah, you would
But
think
I know you can't have eyes in the back of your head, and some of them have like 8 to 10 checkouts that one girl's watching.
That's true. And if you have Aldi's, they're all kind of spread out.
Mm-hmm.
You have some against the wall, then you have the ones in the middle. I don't even know if they have anybody because they have one person.
Yeah, they don't really have anyone
that's
watching.
at the cash register.
And maybe they feel pretty safe because their prices are cheaper anyhow.
So they're not worried about theft of an avocado. You don't think that's...
Yeah, I'm sure someone would do it, but not everyone's honest, but
Yeah. Okay, so self-checkouts. Says that self-checkouts in stores may decrease customer loyalty, especially for those with larger shopping loads. A new study has found customers using them often feel overwhelmed and unsupported and miss the assistance provided by staff. I love the fact that I can just get in and get the heck out. Researchers at Drexel University, we know Drexel,
oh yeah,
maybe his son was going to go there.
Yeah.
Say that the lack of personal interaction can negatively impact their perception of the supermarket. In addition, there's an effort required at self-checkout stations, along with the necessity to purchase bags. That's the one they always think about. Aldi's.
It always asks you do you purchase
if you want to add a
bag,
which we did buy a bag this time because Terry likes to go in, and I think one bag's going to be enough. But then we ended up with, I was overflowing.
Yeah, so we bought a bag for your truck.
For the truck. Yeah, I didn't have, right. Your car has more than that. So some people have to, purchase bags, and the expectation of the store-provided service were all identified as factors that apparently diminishes loyalty. More than half of Gen Z say they prefer self-checkout lines and would even switch their store of choice for the ease of self-serve kiosks. So a lot of people do like the self-serve. According to new data, it's not because they're independent or introverted. The survey said 1/3 of Gen Z said they steal while cashing out at self-check. They steal. They actually
But
say
they actually say they do.
Yeah.
They say they prefer it because they're stealing.
I think, I guess they figure that if the store is going to make them do the work, they should get an employee discount. That's what I'm thinking.
Well,
But yeah, they actually say, and I think that's part of the issue, is you say you scan one, but
two of them.
But Aldi's has the camera.
Oh, they
so
have
they're
a
watching
camera
it.
on you.
I don't know if there's somebody actually watching that.
I would think there's a security person watching. I mean, if I did it, I would. I mean,
That'd be a lot, though, to try and do one person to watch. Let's
3 or
see,
4
1,
screens. Yeah.
2, 3, 4. Is there 6 or more?
Well, there
Or
might
is there
be
more than
8,
8?
9, 10. There might be 10.
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
But when we go earlier than everyone, so there's usually not all being used when we go.
Yeah. All right, we come back. We'll talk about.
Yeah, you would think that people would be mortified if some security came up and said, "I need to see your bag," and you knew you took something. You would think you'd be like,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
but I don't think people are ashamed of stealing either.
Well, they think that because they have to do the work in a self-checkout, they
That,
think
well, it was a 69-cent whatever.
my thought is
Cucumber, that's what I gave myself for free.
because you've stood in lines at Walmart when they didn't have the self-checkout and they only have like 3, maybe 3 cashiers.
People, yeah,
And you're there, well, later in the day sometimes, and it could be backed up.
I've had problems at Walmart with like the clearance. Like
Yes.
I've got something from clearance and it won't ring
doesn't-
up,
or doesn't ring
or
up.
won't ring up. And I said, "Well, see, it's marked $3. That's why I picked it up."
Well, I
You
think
know,
that's why
and
people
then-
are hesitant to use it.
And then, but the girl that's in the front of that line, she has to come and override it and give
Right.
it to you for them. I'm like, I don't want it if it's not that price. That's why I picked it up.
All right, we come back. We'll talk about a check engine light for your body.
A check engine. Oh yeah,
Could you use one?
Oh yeah, I'm sure we all could.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we ignore what our body's telling us.
And if you lose your temper, it could really hurt your heart.
I believe that.
So we'll talk about that coming up next. So you want to start a podcast. Maybe you're listening to the show today and you're thinking to yourself, boy, that would be fun. And I have a lot of things I want to talk about. Maybe today is the day. Maybe you're looking for a new marketing channel, or you have a message that you'd like to share with the world, or you just think it would be fun to have a talk show. Now, it is a lot of fun just talking to your friends. Maybe you have ideas about sports, life, or whatever your passion is. Today's the day. Podcasting is easy, it's inexpensive, and it's a fun way to expand your reach online. And where should you go? Buzzsprout. It's hands down the easiest, and it's the best way to launch, promote, and track your podcast. And your show, believe it or not, can be online and listed in all the major podcast directories in minutes, like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcast, and you wouldn't believe how many more there are. And they make it simple to join all of them. Podcasting is not hard when you have the right partners, and Buzzsprout is the team to join. They are passionate about your success. You can join over 1,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout. We're one of them. We've been on Buzzsprout from the beginning, and I'm so glad I joined up. I had a little bit of an issue, emailed a customer service rep, and they got back to me within 5 minutes, and they had me calm down. It wasn't that hard, and what I was doing was my fault. So here's all you got to do. Click on the link in the show notes. It tells Buzzsprout we sent you. You can support our show, and if you get a paid plan, you get a $20 gift certificate from Amazon. Now, here's some other things that Buzzsprout provides. Like, you get a great looking podcast website. Now, a lot of people think, oh, I got to get a website, got to pay for that. No, you don't. They provide it for you. Also, they have audio players. Maybe you have a website, and all you want to do is promote your show on your own website. You can do that with their audio players, and you can also drop it into other websites and on Facebook or Twitter, and they help you do it all. Believe me, Buzzsprout is the way to go. They've helped me immensely, and I've had a lot of fun doing it. So maybe today is a day for you to start your podcast. And if you do, check out the link below in the show notes and get a $20 Amazon gift card. So if you had a choice, would you like to have a check engine light for your health? Often,
I think a lot of people ignore your body's signals. Like, I'm pretty good at my back because I've had it for so long. You know what I mean? That when my SI joint starts bothering me, when that little things start, then I kind of, like when I was working and I was on a rolly chair, if I went to sit, or if I had a little twinge in a different way, then I was really aware of how I was rolling and how I was getting up and down and really watching.
Right.
But I think a lot of people ignore those types of things until they're on the ground and they can't move,
Right. I think that, most people say that, in fact, 3 and 4 wish they had some type of a check engine light for their health. And they feel like it'd be easier if they had some kind of indicator when their body needs attention. But you do have the indicator because, like me, when I was having those chest things, that was an indicator that something
It's not right.
is not quite right.
When I passed out in the bathtub.
You passed out in the bathtub.
Well, I was not in the bathtub, but I ended up.
You passed. Well, you ended up in
the bathtub.
the bathtub. Yeah. So there are things that are going to pop up, and I think we find a way to ignore them.
Unless you're like you said, unless like I actually hit the bathtub. I mean,
well, yeah, you passed
so
out.
then,
Yeah.
So then you have to like, okay, there has to be something wrong. Why did that happen?
Because a lot of people.
But if like I didn't feel it until then. But was I having something? I was, but I had just had a spur or something removed from my foot, and so I was feeling funny from the anesthesia and everything anyhow. So that's why I didn't notice that I was as bad off as I was.
I think a lot of people don't even pay attention to the car's engine light.
Yeah.
They leave it on. How long do you leave it on? But they were saying that, I was reading a story. They were saying, why can't the car kind of tell you what's wrong?
Well,
you have
like
those
with
screens and
all
stuff?
our electronic
Yeah.
systems, muffler,
But it said there was a mechanic that got on. There's this Reddit thread, and it said, why can't we just have a diagnostics
in our car.
in the car with all the other stuff that we have? And he says that even if you have one of those machines you plug in, the car, first of all, the car wouldn't know what's wrong with itself. That's what he says. He said, when you go to a pro and they plug it in, it gives you a list of things that it could be. It doesn't, I don't know. I'm not a mechanic.
Yeah.
So if you're a mechanic out there, and
Maybe
you'd
you
have
could
to
answer
tell me,
that
maybe you can
question.
answer, because he's saying that the car wouldn't know. Just like, for instance, if you go to the doctor and you say, well, I've got this pain that, runs from my shoulder down to my elbow, or you have, whatever.
They say don't lift your arm.
Yeah, don't do this anymore. Yeah, don't do that anymore. But I mean, you would say, well, it feels like what? Could be muscle, could be a tear, could be, who knows? You won't know until you take an X-ray. So apparently with these, even with the machine, it gives you an idea of where to start. Spark plug, muffler, whatever, catalytic converter, I don't know. So, but even with that, how long do you go with a check engine light on? To me, if that happened to one of our cars, because they're newer, it's going in.
Yeah, right away.
Well, it's under warranty. So that helps, being it's under warranty. But do you wait a little bit longer if it's out of warranty? Because, who wants to pay a lot of money for something that it stinks?
That it can still run without.
Yeah. So you have a light, but of course they won't pass inspection
With
if the
that
light's
light
on.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah. Don't we know that?
but anyway, they say that if they had
We
something,
actually had a car that was on life support for quite a while.
we did, and actually the light was on, but they couldn't find anything.
Wrong with the car.
So they said it was probably
still
because
worked.
it was 10 years old, I think.
It was over 10.
It was older
It was
than
over
that.
10, yeah.
They just said, well, sometimes that just happens, and the
And
light
we
comes
had
on.
a switch to override it, kind of.
Oh, that was with the, what was that called?
The Eagle.
The Eagle.
that the
Oh, I
Eagle?
love that car.
I loved that car.
Yes. Yeah, I love
If
that
it would have
car.
passed inspection like that, we'd still be driving it.
Well, I don't know
because
about
it was a nice car.
It was. It got around because it had that positive traction, and you could go anywhere with it. Now we both have 4-wheel drive. So, and it doesn't snow anymore.
It got cold this
for the
year,
first
though.
time ever. We have 4-wheel drives, and it hasn't snowed since we've gotten them.
Yeah, it snowed.
Not snow.
Well,
Come on.
when
Not to where, are we going to
no, 'cause
make it
we
up the
bought
hill?
it that in February.
Yes.
So, yeah.
We were to the point where it used to be we'd have front wheel drives. My truck wasn't. It was rear wheel drive. Always have trouble with that. And I had to go up backwards, but we'd be times we'd got snow. Like, man, I don't know if we're going to make it up the hill.
Oh, we've actually not gone someplace because, the plow didn't go by.
But yeah, that's how it works. You buy a 4-wheel drive, and it doesn't snow anymore. Anyway, 3 and 5 said they struggle to recognize when the body is telling them to pay attention to their health. And they say if a check engine light were to exist, they would most likely, it would notify them maybe when to drink a glass of water. Maybe they're getting dehydrated. Maybe it would tell them you need to take your vitamins. Or maybe it's time to take a nap. How'd you like your check engine light to say, Terry, time for a nap?
You're over.
Drink some water and some wine.
It would be telling me drink water because I
Or,
don't drink enough water.
The check engine light could come on and say, you haven't had enough sex this week.
Oh, if it goes by your mind, yours would be beeping all the time.
You need to help your husband. He's lacking in that department. I knew you'd make me cough. This is all your fault. You and your sex talk.
Yeah, me and my sex talk.
So this was conducted. The study asked people to gauge how they felt at the time of taking this poll. And the survey said 32% said they checked in with themselves that day, meaning they finally did some kind of like examination of themselves. How do I feel?
Okay.
How's
Does
my mental
everything work?
and,
Is my neck
and emotional
working?
health? How's that?
Yeah.
Some people said they haven't checked in with themselves within the past 2 days. That's 55%. And then others said, 6% said they've never checked in with themselves to see how they're doing.
Because they're just on the go 24/7.
They're go all the time. And you don't think about it, but
Get up, run.
And that's
Run to work, run to this, run to that.
And that seems to be how our life's been lately. Run.
I don't know. I've got a couple days a week that I
you
rest
Yeah,
and
you
get,
do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the last
Yeah.
few times, you know.
Yes. What? Go ahead. Say it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What? The last few times, what? You're not going to say it.
Nope.
Why not? I've interrupted your routine.
No.
Oh,
You just
I don't get it. You have your days.
you act like when kids are here and stuff, you act like it's like not on me. Like
What do you mean?
like
We're both doing
Saturday
it
when
together.
you said that you weren't feeling real well, and then the kids weren't going to bring the grandkids. I was working my butt off cutting hair,
Yeah.
feeding us, and
So was I. I cut up all the chicken for a chicken soup that Terry put in low sodium broth and ruined it.
I spiced it up later.
No, I did. Actually, I had the
Did you
one
have
you
some?
redid. It was good.
Ben ate it yesterday for lunch.
Well, of course
so
he
it
does.
must
He
have-
loves noodles.
I know, but I don't know if he would have liked it with low sodium.
It was bad. You have to admit it almost tasted, I don't want to say spoiled, but that is kind of what it tasted like.
Well, because we're used to our salt.
I was so used to that. Well, I like soup that's not really soup though. So that's probably on me too, because you wanted to
he
add,
was drinking this soup water.
Yeah, you wanted to add some fluid where there's something about that, the mixture.
You like soup that soaked up all the water. The noodle soaked up all the water.
Yeah, but it was
You
good.
like it like that.
I had the soup today. It was good. Very, very good. Anger is an intense emotion,
Yep.
and it also doesn't feel good. So whether it's a sudden flash of road rage, blowing up a coworker, or a family member, or a husband, anger can be hard to control. However, did you know that angry outbursts may be damaging your heart and blood vessel health. According to Columbia University, experiencing an intense moment
And other
of
people
anger
are going to do what they're going to do anyhow.
causes,
Other people that make you angry are going to do what they're going to do anyhow.
well, yeah, but I'm saying if you,
Cut you off in traffic.
well, yeah,
whatever.
they're going to do it. And you are going to have that urge to want to, give them the number one signal.
Yeah.
You're number one. Just remember that. Ooh, yeah. Just like that. It can cause temporary damage to the lining of your blood vessels. And just because you got an outburst of some anger.
Cracks me up because
You
people yell at the other driver like they can hear you. And the only one you're bothering is the one in your car.
Yeah. Yeah, no one else is. Yeah, I mean,
They can't hear you and they don't give a crap anyhow. So, I know people who rant and rave when they drive, and I'm like, the only one you're bothering is me sitting in your passenger seat,
So this is called, this blood vessels, and this is also known, the lining, as endothelium.
Endothelium.
Endothelium is important. We need this. It plays a big role. It's the inner lining of your blood vessels. Includes the arteries, the veins, the tiny capillaries. It acts as a gatekeeper, helping to regulate things like blood clotting, plaque buildup, inflammation levels, vessel and relaxation and constriction. So it really helps a lot. And it says that when you get angry, it kind of does something to that lining, even though it's only a brief moment.
So people are hurting themselves.
What are we trying to tell you? Just relax.
Chill. Take a chill pill.
Just chill. Take a chill pill. Don't worry that he cut off you, cut you off, and they're going to do it anyway. It's just life. Although Terry and I did something a little different last Friday
I did
on our way home, and you did it again. We tried a different way to come home from Pittsburgh, and I can tell you that I loved it. Yes, it was a little bit longer maybe.
Because there's more traffic lights.
But when you think about if you're see, the difference for me was we were at least moving. But when you're trying to get over 2 lanes, because you're merging from 51, or is that 51?
Yeah, and then you have to go
On to 376.
but you have to go up to a ramp.
Or is it 376, 370, whatever it is.
Because they all merge together,
So you all
and then
merge-
they merge to another ramp.
Right. So you're coming on, and you have people that will stay in that the ramp all the way up to the DVE building, which is not DVE's not in there anymore, but it would go all the way up to that building and then cut in, or try to cut in.
And I've done that.
And you have done that.
Because you put your blinker on, no one lets you in. And
so,
my little new car goes beep, 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 beep,
Right.
beep, beep. Because
Because you're
when
too
as
close.
soon as I put my blinker on, it starts beeping at me because no one's hesitating. And
So we're done. It's funny because we're looking at each other. So should we try to go the other way? Because we would go how we came in.
because we were late.
We were a lot later,
We were a lot later, and we thought there'd be more traffic.
So we thought we would go back the way we came in because there's 2 ramps. One is the bad ramp. That's another bad ramp. That's a little bit higher up, but it's you still have to get over.
Yeah, you still have to get over 2 lanes.
Is it 2 lanes? It might be 2.
Yeah, because people were getting off
that's
there
right.
while you're getting on.
That's right. So you have to wait for them to go past, and they may be trying to get over like you are. Anyway, so we bypassed that one to the next one after the building, the DVE building. And even though it's a very short ramp, people seem to be a little happier there once they've gotten through all of that congestion. They're like, go ahead. We're moving, because they're not stopped.
Yeah, they're moving.
They're
now.
moving at a nice pace. And I think we might have found a way to cut some of our aggravation.
Yeah.
Who knows? It might change, but we're going to try it. A couple other story, one more story for sure. This I saw this today. Let's see. Man and his wife. I thought it was a girlfriend. A man and his wife who does not work outside the home was upset with him that their house was messy And so this therapist stepped in. So a Reddit user found he was fed up with his wife's sudden reluctance to do chores. And they say, if they don't want to do chores, I guess that's okay. But he says most times they share in the chores, okay? But sometimes he has certain weeks that he has to do 70 hours a week, 10-hour days, sometimes 12-hour days. It just depends, sometimes longer. And then in this post, he revealed that he's 24, his wife is 26, and they've been married for 4 years. And he works as a consultant, and he has periods of time where he has to work 70 hours a week. And with those periods, he said they would split the household chores. They don't have any children, but because he does these 10-hour days, he collapses on the couch because he's tired. And he asked her, can't you do a little bit help with me
on that week? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, during that week, he said, I'm sorry. I'm just, I'm just beat. And she says that she got really upset because he said, can't you, do just a little bit more? He says, I'm not in the house for 12 hours, including the commute and a lunch break. He said, so I don't care how the house looks when I'm gone. But I told her if she wanted the house to be clean, she could just do her chores. And that didn't go over too well. So she was tight-lipped, went to bed, got up the next day, wasn't too happy. And he received a text because he had to get up early to go to work before she got up. Said she was disappointed with his reaction to her saying she needed help. I get that she's stressed, but I'm doing my job. Is it unfair to expect her to do hers? And then he said in a follow-up comment, wrote that he's continued to put dishes in the dishwasher, throw things away, put his laundry in the laundry basket. He usually does his own laundry, but after the 70 hours, he decides, that would be a little tough to do. But she says she's stressed and she just doesn't have the time to do it.
Wait till they have a kid.
And I think the therapist said that she's not getting enough attention, and that might be why she's not putting in her chores, because she's lacking the attention. Well, he's working that 70 hours, and during the off weeks, he's helping.
People just don't buck up to things anymore.
Are we just lazy? Is that what it's gotten to?
I mean, well, if you're working 70 hours a week, you're not lazy. But, I mean, I think a lot of people are. I mean, they don't. People don't keep their houses nice. Like, I know, we taught our kids to make their beds and stuff. Do they do it? And they don't. This new generation does not make beds. They don't even get up and make their beds every morning.
See, that'd be the first thing to do.
They get up and off to work, and they don't even make beds, and they don't. And no wonder your house is messy.
It's like having your first, if you get up in the morning, and it's already a struggle, right? So, you're trying to, especially if you have kids, trying to get them out of the house, trying to get you out of the house. To me, if you make the bed, it's like, there's one thing that I've done. I can check off the list.
Yeah.
It's like, I just made the bed. Regardless of what happens the rest of the day.
And I think people nowadays, you got two working, they have to go to daycare or whatever.
Well, that's true.
They're up and they have them they put them half asleep into the car seat, off to daycare they go.
Right.
And they run, and then they come home to that.
It's tough.
They come home to,
I'll admit,
none of the beds have been made. Nothing's been done.
And it's also tough because you are working, some people working 2-3 jobs, working long hours, and then trying to get the kids to the sporting events, trying to feed them, it's tough. It is tough. It's tough. But I don't know. I think making the bed isn't that, it's like an accomplishment. It sets the day.
I mean,
But what do I know?
My kids were taught to get out of the bed and pull the covers up and make the bed.
Even if you just put a comforter on it and make it look a little neater, throw a couple pillows on there and call it a day. That's what we do.
I mean, it's not that hard.
Not really. It's just a bed. All right, final story. You ready? This dentist on TikTok, she's Dr. Ellie Phillips. She shares tips to looking after your pearly whites. And it's interesting. She says that there's a certain time of day you should never eat in order to protect your teeth. Do you have any idea what time of day that might be?
Is it right before bed?
No. It's right after lunch. She shared that you should leave your mouth alone after you eat lunch for at least a couple of hours. And what the reason being, she says, the saliva can mineralize your teeth. There are 2 hours during the day when you shouldn't be eating at all or even drinking. She said
Well, what
that,
if you have a late lunch
well, you just wait 2 hours.
after you?
Whenever you have your midday, whatever it is, if it's at 12, 1, give yourself 2 hours to let your saliva clean your teeth. She says it'll help you avoid unnecessary dental treatments. She says that it's your circadian rhythm, which is the body's natural 24-hour cycle. It controls the flow of these saliva in your mouth. And she said in the morning, it moves more slowly. It's more acidic. Your saliva is more acidic in the morning. In the afternoon, your resting saliva will naturally be a higher pH, which helps mineralize your teeth. And it'll also help a better flow and helps move liquid around your mouth. And she says, so give yourself 2 hours
After
to
lunch.
let your teeth kind of clean itself.
That's probably when
and-
people snack, have the Twinkies and the
That's at 2 o'clock, and you give that
Snickers snack.
everything. You got to have that Snickers. But that's during, if you already had lunch, you
12,
need to
1,
not
2,
do it.
not
And she
for-
said snacks are the worst. Mm-hmm. Of course they are. That's just common sense. You can't eat a box of Ho-Hos and expect to have well, maybe some people can, have a 8-pack and pearly white teeth. So.
Yep.
That's all you got,
people
huh?
are crazy.
I think Terry's out. Terry didn't have a rough
crazy.
night.
I
She didn't sleep very well,
last night. No,
so she's out. I've lost her already.
I tried to get up and read, and I couldn't, even with my glasses.
That was in the
on.
middle
I
of the
would-
night. Yeah.
Yeah, my eyes were blurry.
So, all right, that's it. Don't forget to, you can text us now. There is a link right in our shows, right above our summary. Little link. You can text our show. If you'd like to text us, you can also subscribe. Every Monday we have a new episode, so we'd love for you to do that and share us with your friends too. You can follow us on Facebook or Twitter, Just Talking Out Loud. And we really appreciate you taking the time out and listen to us just kind of rattle off some
Nonsense.
It's pretty much what it is. If you want to just get away and listen to two people ramble, this is it.
Yep, this is it.
This is your show. Hey, thanks so much. We are out.
Have a great week.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed today's show.